Here with Trepid Technologies, and we're going to quickly go over the unboxing of our Canakit and just show you what's all inside. So the first thing we're going to do, again, just look at the specs here. So you can see there's 32 gigs of storage, which is just fine for what we're going to do. You know, this isn't going to be a file share. That's perfectly fine. But we did go a little extra with the 8 gigs of RAM. Typically for Raspberry Pi, it's just going to lap up. They're not going to have any real like enterprise, maybe even home office, small office use. You go a little bit smaller with the gig size, but hey, it was Prime Day. I got a smoking deal. So about the price, I believe this was about $159, and this comes with the Raspberry Pi 4, and then also the Enclosure, this Canakit. So let's go ahead and now open it up. You see, you just tear this along the seam. Let me get that into frame here, and let's open this up. So the first thing it's going to come with is obviously just instructions for the actual kit. So it says read me first, just telling you that, hey, here's everything that it comes with, some power information, and then also they have a help. I'm going to put that off to the side. Just some more, you know, I guess a little marketing stuff for them, saying thank you for purchasing this Canakit. And then let's get into what we have here. So I'm going to take everything out of the box, lay it out, and then we're going to start getting into the boxes themselves and then begin building this Raspberry Pi. So let's just take everything out of here. Fan. And then, of course, we have our guide. So I'm going to put this off to the side, get the box out of the way, and let's bring everything else into view here. So you can see here we have a power supply and then some heat sinks right there. And we're going to apply that onto the actual motherboard. Here we have the SD card kit. And what that allows us to do is take the micro SD, put it into a USB, and then flash an image on there. I'm going to get those out of frame. And then we have the actual enclosure. So this is what the actual enclosure looks like. You've probably seen this a bunch before if you're following or into any Raspberry Pis or any of this embedded kind of systems. And then we have the actual fan. And that's, again, along with the heat sink, it's going to keep our motherboard cool. And then the actual SD card. So this is our hard drive here, guys. So it's a micro SD. And we can use the USB to flash it. Sometimes computers just have a slot for this micro SD, and then it's allowed to be it is an external device, and then you don't need that USB, but that's how we're going to do it. Just makes things simpler. This is a part of the power supply, so it lets you actually do a switch, as you can see here, on and off. This technically isn't needed. It's just nice to have in case you just want to leave the power supply plugged in, but your Raspberry Pi off. And then we have a mini HDMI, I believe, or maybe micro. I'd have to check that, to a regular HDMI. So as you can see here. And then the actual Raspberry Pi itself. So now I'm going to pause this video, get my whole workstation set up, and no, I don't have a static pad. Please do not kill me in the comments. And we're going to start building our Raspberry Pi. Alright guys, so now that we have our Raspberry Pi there, we're going to start applying our heat sinks. So we have this little card that comes with it. We kind of don't need that, or it's not needed during this step. And then we have our getting started kit here. So we see that it's pretty obvious we're going to put these heat sinks right on the SD RAM, on the USB 3.0 controller, and then also our CPU. So let's go ahead and do this. So when we get these heat sinks out of this little dime bag we have here, you can see that it has a little sticky side. So we're going to undo this blue. And then we're just going to stick it right onto the CPU there. That's where the big one goes. We're just going to give it a little press. And then we have the second big one, or the long one. And again, if we look at our guide here, get this in the focus, that's going to go on the SD RAM right there. Number 2, according to that slide. So again, we're going to get this blue off of here. It can be a little tricky sometimes. And I don't have any nails, so there we go. Kind of messed that up. That's okay. Now let's put it on our Raspberry Pi. Same thing. We're just going to then give it a little press. Okay. And now the last one, the little guy. Same process. We're going to try to take the sticky off maybe a little cleaner this time. And I'm in Arizona, and this did sit out in the heat a little bit, so sometimes the sticky just gets a little messed up. There we go. Finally got it off. And now we're going to put that, if we look back at our guide here, on the USB 3.0 controller. And that is number 3 right there. Okay, so now we've applied our heat sinks. The next step, and I know, don't kill me in the comments, I don't have a static pad. I'm still trying to grab the Raspberry Pi as you're supposed to from the sides. Next, we're going to get the actual enclosure out. So here's what the enclosure looks like. It actually comes in 3 pieces. A lot of times students think that you kind of got to shove the Raspberry Pi underneath here. That's not true. It's actually 3 pieces. Oops. So 3 pieces, okay? Just like that. Okay. So now let's go ahead and put our Raspberry Pi where it should be. So we see this is the bottom here of our enclosure. You can line it up. And you just got to give it a little press down. Okay. And now this one's pretty obvious. It's going to go like this. And next, before we put this top on there, we're going to have to insert our fan. Now, this isn't necessarily needed, but of course you want to. That's why you got the enclosure kit, so that you can have these capabilities to kind of cool off the Raspberry Pi. Okay, here we go. Here's the fan. So now let's get that out of view. We're going to put it along these. So if we take a look at our getting started guide here, that's the GPIO header. You can see that the red pin goes in 4, which is the 5 volts, which is actually giving it power. And then the black pin goes in pin 6, or the black part of this fan goes in pin 6, and that is the ground. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to try to get as good a view of doing this as I can. Remember, red goes in pin 4. Black goes in pin 6. So let's go ahead and try to do it. So I'm going to carefully put this in there. And then we're going to do this for pin 6 as well. Make sure those are all the way in. And then we're going to insert this fan just like this. There we go. And now our Raspberry Pi Canakit is completed. Look at that. So now we have a nice little enclosure. And the only thing missing is now just the power supply. So let's get away from building it. Let's get out our USB, which we're going to put our SD card into so we can flash it. And then here is our micro SD card. Okay, so now we're going to put an image on this SD card here. Hopefully it doesn't focus on my face. And what we're gonna do is put it into this USB, I guess it's a docking. Essentially we put the micro SD into this USB, and we're gonna plug it into a computer and put an image on this SD card now. So with the Canakit, you're gonna get this SD card and this USB, they say micro SD reader, right? That's the official name that's on here. So this is 2 steps. One, we got to plug this into our computer, and then we have to download this Raspberry Pi imager. This Raspberry Pi imager is going to let you select from predefined images that it'll just download over the internet. Or if you have an offline image, you can also do that. So for us to install Kali Linux, we'd have to use an offline imager. So that's exactly what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you how to do that. First step, of course, you have to download it for your operating system. I'm on a Mac, so download for Mac OS. I've already done that, so we don't need to do that step. And now step 2, let me go ahead and plug in this USB. So because I have a MacBook, I have a USB docking station that I gotta get back in here too. Okay, now we're good. And now instead of me downloading it, I am just going to open up the app, Raspberry Pi Imager app. And now we're going to choose an operating system. So if you want to use a custom one, meaning you downloaded an image like from Kali Linux website for the Raspberry Pi, we're going to hit use custom. And then we have to go find that image. It should be here. I just downloaded it. And then there we go. So let me click that. That's the zip. So you had to unzip it, of course. And here's my Kali Linux 2023 Raspberry Pi image. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to choose the storage, and there's my storage. And then this is real simple. I'm just going to hit write. So I actually don't want to rewrite this SD card because I already have a good image on there. But that's it. That is everything. And if you wanted to choose a different image, like ones that come standard, you can do that. Other ones, they have different Raspberry Pi images. This is Debian-based Linux. Other general purpose, they have more Debian-based ones over here. I don't know if they have any RHEL-based just automatically. I haven't looked too deep into this. I've only ever installed Kali Linux, Ubuntu, and then the regular Raspberry Pi image. Okay, so that is going to be it, guys. Now you just hit write, and then you'll be good to go. And now, once everything is written, let me grab this SD card. You would take the SD card out of the USB micro SD reader. You would grab your Canakit Raspberry Pi, and then you would just slide it into the micro SD card reader on the back or front. Who knows? Depending which way you look at it, right? Pretty sure that's the back. Alright, so that's it. So this is part 1 of assembling and putting an image on our Raspberry Pi and Canakit. Stay tuned for part 2, where we go over actually installing some wireguard, Dynamic DNS, PiHole, and I'm actually going to do this on the regular Raspberry Pi image, I think. I may do this on Kali, but doing wireguard on a Raspberry Pi OS is just so much easier. So we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling after this video gets uploaded. So thank you for viewing. And if you or your unit are ever interested in getting this training live, either virtually or in person, and getting certified in Security Plus, CYSA, CASP, Linux Plus, or even CCNA, because I do come from a networking background, please look at that description and hit up me or my team and see how we can come down to your unit.